Hi first graders! I have a new book for you today. This book is called The Goat's Beard. So we're going to practice our I Spy Eyes on some vocabulary words, and then we'll practice some sight words. And then you'll be ready to read the book in video number 2. I almost grabbed the wrong marker for my board. That would have been terrible. Okay, so let's first look at this word. This is one of the characters in the story, and this says Joe. Usually, Joe is spelled like this, but the author decided to write it like this. So that's one of the characters, Joe. And what do you see inside this word? You should see 2 vowels go walking, and this makes the O sound. So this says goat. And if you put apostrophe S at the end, it says goats. So the other character in this story is goat. And there's this word that's in the story, a lot. So what do you see inside this word? This word has, you should see the 2 vowels. So which one gets to talk? The E gets to talk, and he usually says his name. And in this book and in this word, he does say his name. So this Lego is going to say E. Beard. So the word beard is going to be in the story a lot because it's about the goat's beard. It's kind of a silly story. I think you're going to have fun with it. All right, do you remember those CVC words that I told you about? So a CVC word is usually a word that has a consonant, a vowel, and a consonant, right? So I was just looking real fast. I think we have just this one, okay? So here is a word that is a CVC word because this is a consonant, this is a vowel, this is a consonant. Don't forget about big mouth. So this says get. And if we want to make it say getting, and we want to add the ing ending to it, remember we have to double the final consonant and then add the ending. So this is how you write getting, okay? So it looks like a tricky word, but it's really not if you know get. All right, what chunk is in this word? You should see uck. We just had that in a book not too long ago. And you should see the ST blend. So this word has 2 Legos. So let's sing it. Uck, stuck. All right, let's look at this word. And what do you see inside this word? You should see OU, and you should see the A button. So don't forget to push the A button and say A. And let's sing the rest. Here we go. Round. So we have a round. All right, I think I'm gonna write it up and down. Cameraman, tell me if I mess you up if I do this, okay? All right, you good, cameraman? All right, so what do we see inside this word? We have the BR, that says brr, and then this says anch, doesn't it? Anch. There's an and here's ch. So this is branch. Now if we have more than one branch, usually when we have more than one thing, we just add an S, don't we? But if we have more than one branch, we have branches. So you might see the ES at the end for branches. All right, this is a compound word. So tell me if you see a little word inside this big word. You should see B, and you should see the magic E bonk the I, and this says I. So I've, bee, hive. Beehive is a compound word, isn't it? All right, and then the last word, well, I think I'll go ahead and erase. All right, so now we have this word. And this is an easy word to sing, boys and girls. The U says doesn't it? So this is a fuss. So we don't hear that word very often, but in this story, one of the characters is having a fuss. And you probably have heard this before, throwing a fit. So if you're throwing a fit or you're having a fuss, you're kind of acting the same way. A fuss is when you get frustrated with something and you're acting and showing your frustration out. Okay? All right, what do we see inside this word? You see the magic E, don't you? Magic E belongs to O. O says O, H, O, hole. All right, now this word we've had before. Do you remember cows in the garden? So we had this word in our story, cows in the garden. What do we know about this word? There's something interesting in this word. We have E-N says N, and then the soft C makes the S sound. So this says fence, fence. So there's a fence in this story too. And then what do you see inside this word? You should see the two vowels. So this is gonna say O, road, road. And there's a road in this story. All right, this is a sight word. This sight word says pool. And if you add an ED to the end, now it says pulled. All right, here's another word that has something interesting in it. Do you see the soft C? All right, so the magic E is gonna bump the I on the head, and this says nice, nice. All right, there's a lot of soft C words in this story, boys and girls. All right. So we had this word in our story, the haircut. So if it was in the story, the haircut, the SC just makes the S sound. Is, here's OR, or scissors. We don't say scissors, do we? But scissors should tell you that it's the word scissors. All right, did I already do the word nice? I think I did. All right, and then what little word do you see inside this word? You should see OR again, that says or. Horn, that says horn. And if we add an S, now it says horns. So a goat has horns sometimes, don't they? And here's something else a goat has. This is a tricky word, isn't it, boys and girls? So what if I do this? Does that give you a clue? So these are his eyes. And that's just a tricky word, boys and girls. There's no chunks inside this word. Eyes. And then this one is a compound word. Ooh, sloppy writing. Let me do that again. Sorry. All right, do you see a little word inside this big word that you know about? All right, you should see one. That's a number word, so we already know half the word, don't we? Here's big mouth. Here's ER. ER says Here's Y at the end. That says E. So let's sing this part. Every one. I hope you found all those Legos with me. I went kind of fast. All right. Now, sometimes in a story, you have to read the story to figure out what the word is saying. So in this story, and it's right at the beginning, boys and girls, there's this word. And I bet you've never, ever seen this word before. And I'm not sure I saw this word before. And then it's again, and then it's again. So there's no chunks, there's no blends, it's not a sight word. So what are we to do to figure out this word? We have to read the story. We have to figure out what the words say before we see this word. So it says, when it got stuck, the goat made a big fuss. So remember, he was kind of throwing a fit. So when he was making a fuss, he was saying these words. So what sound do you think a goat would make when he's making a fuss? He said, meh, meh, meh. So have fun with that sound, boys and girls. And speaking of sounds, there's a lot of talking marks in this story. And so that means the characters take turns talking. So have fun changing your voice, sometimes to be Joe's voice, sometimes to be the goat's voice, and maybe sometimes to be the storyteller's voice. So make sure you're practicing your storytelling voice while you're reading the story, and make sure you're looking for those talking marks. Okay, boys and girls? And then there's a lot of sight words in this story. So cameraman, are you ready to do the sight words? And I wrote some sight words on the back, so we're gonna have to go through this stack twice, boys and girls. So I'll let you try them first to see if you can do them all by yourself. And if you can't do them all by yourself, then that tells you you need to practice these sight words, because these words might be in a lot of other stories, boys and girls. So make sure you use this as a little test for yourself, and you can watch this part of the video more than one time to practice your sight words, okay? So I'll let you do the front side of the cards first, and then I will do them with you, and then we'll do the back side of the cards. Are we ready, cameraman? All right, so give it a try, boys and girls. And I put a capital letter on some of these sight words because you might see the sight words with a capital letter. And sometimes that's tricky, but you know it's the same if it's a lowercase or a capital. All right, so let's see if you can say them before me. Are you ready? Here we go. Old, always, all, onto, saw, your, oh, did I do saw twice? And saw again. I guess I did do saw twice. Maybe we need to practice it. I'm thinking of someone right now in my brain that used to be able to need to practice it, but maybe he doesn't need to anymore. All right, here's the other side of the card. All right, ready to race me? I know you love to race me. Let's see if you can beat me. Here we go. Every, then, her, when, that, off, and very. Did you win, boys and girls? Did you beat me? All right, that's the end of video number 1 for The Goat's Beard. I hope you enjoy reading this story. I think it's a silly one. Don't forget to watch for video number 2 so you have a chance to read it yourself, boys and girls. All right, see you soon. Bye-bye.